Starting the second half of Miss Pursuit Party Season 2, we have a very technical event up next, the side-by-side duels. There you see this long track. This event was in Season 1. It was off camera then though. See a treacherous track through many obstacles. Two marbles going side by side as the name suggests. And the one who reaches the bottom of that first wins. This is a bracket event. Team Submarine and the Perilous Pancakes are gonna have a demonstration at it. You see them running parallel to each other, so you can always tell which one is ahead. Looks like it's Perilous Pancakes who will not win this one. Actually, they got hung up in the loop there. But we start off with Morning Milton and the Cow Crash. Cereal and Algae, two cats in this one. Cow Crash are really having a tough one here because they're facing the silver medalists of last season, Morning Mealtime. But they are out to the lead seemingly, but Morning Mealtime catches right back up. And they take the lead down there. To that squiggly part, down to the final part, and I think Morning Milton might have gotten it. That was a close finish. Morning Milton, this event was their only medal last season, that was a silver. Obviously they've sent Captain Cereal in again, but did they just beat the team that is hopelessly in dead last? I think they did actually. Camera's kind of blocking it, but yeah. By over 2/10, the Morning Mealtime will win this one. Now Trent Hunts and Ballistic Bottles now. Trent Hunters, the dominant leaders. Other teams desperately hoping that they could just be knocked down one peg. But the Ballistic Bottles have a very slow start. This Trent Hunters already off to the lead. Can they keep it? Ballistic Bottles try to catch back up, but it doesn't really work. Trent Hunters get hung up there. Who will be win? It is the Trent Hunters. Ballistic Bottles had struggles on the last section, and the Trent Hunters will get top half again. Still no bottom half finishes for the Trent Hunters this season, which is incredible. The Ballistic Bottles, they don't want to talk about it. The Trent Hunters, they'll take it easily. Ballistic Bottles are out. Avenger Valley is a Crown Collab now, our third matchup. I don't think either of those teams really did that well in this event last season, as the Avenger Valleys might be ending their lead. Knows the Crown Collab. Crown Collab are sitting pretty poorly overall in the standings. They head to the squealy part and onto the Snake. Well, they are both pretty even, but I think the Crown Collab took it slightly better than the end. So you see, we're running pretty even throughout basically the entire race. And there, the Avenger Valleys slowed down there a bit. That was enough to hang them up. So the Crown Collab win it by just over a 10th. Draw beats blood. So now you have the Flag Attacks and the Firefighters. This seems like a very one-sided matchup. The Flag Attacks were the winners of this last season and the winners of the last event too. And the Firefighters are doing Firefighters things. They're sitting pretty far back, but they actually take the lead early on. Firefighters, it would be a pretty big upset if they managed to win this one. Ooh, the Firefighters catch right back up. But the Firefighters, they might have taken it. Firefighters might have just caused a massive upset. The Flag Attacks, it seems like the perfect time for them to have this event. Coming off a gold, they have the most momentum out of any team. I think the Firefighters have just stopped it right here. And they have. Brigade pulls up a massive upset. That is remarkable for the Firefighters, and it's exactly what they needed too. The Fantastics and Tectonic Shifters now. Fantastics in the reserve, Tectonic Shifters, remember? As Fantastics have been having a decent opening season. Tectonic Shifters have been really struggling though. Far cry from where they were last season. So they're sitting at 15. The Fantastics take a big lead. It seems like they got it, but no, that loop might have just changed things up. The Fantastics had it for basically the entire round. And they look pretty even there, but the Fantastics take that much better. Down to the loop, Tectonic Shifters might have gone them. I think they did actually. You can still see the Fantastics up there. And we're going to add down another replay. Yeah, I think they just took it better. They gained a massive momentum, was coming off the loop, and they did. 500 of a second, Tectonic Shifters pull off a come from behind victory there. What a job by them. Charged with Sunners and Nemesis Neons now. The league really hoping on the Charged Suns to be able to do something with the Trent Hunts moving on, but it's the Nemesis Neons who take a massive lead right out of the gate. Nemesis Neons are not slowing down at all. Charged Suns trying to catch up, but they're not going to do it. They hit that really hard, and no, Charged Suns hopeless. And that means the Trent Hunts lead is only going to extend. No one else can get even close to them, so the Trent Hunters, they can see this as a prime opportunity. Charged Suns hoping that the Trent Hunters can perhaps get knocked out quickly. If the Trent Hunters doing really well here, that might be dangerous. It's reflecting the Nemesis Neons. That is, I believe, the best time so far, 10:93. So, to the 7th heat, Doorknobs and Swollenpaws, a classic rivalry from last season. Swollenpaws got bronze in this last season, but the Doorknobs are sitting much better in the standings, and the Doorknobs take a big lead early on, much like the Nemesis Neons just did. Swollenpaws going to try to catch up. They have made comments in this event before, but the Doorknobs take everything really well, go through the loop, and they have an easy win. On adding insult to injury, the Swollenpaws get hung up on the loop. That's going to slow them down even more. In a sea of disappointing finishes for the Swirling Paws, this one might stand out the most. They literally won this event last season, but Stripe not able to get anything done here. Look at how slow they went. 13:60. That is not a good time. So into the final heat of the first round, Turning Taxis and the Rail Blazers, two very public transport-esque teams. As off they go. It's the Turning Taxis who might take an early lead. The Rail Blazers try to catch up. Turning Taxis, their lead seems to be growing a bit though. Now it shrinks. The Rail Blazers, well, they might have taken the lead there. They're very equal heading down to the final section. That was very close. We need to see a replay of that. Turning Taxis easily leapt out of the base right at the end. That's obviously fine. But yeah, very equal down there. Going down the loop, I think it was the Turning Taxis who took it slightly better than the Rail Blazers. And they did, but less than the 10th driver takes it over the captain of the Rail Blazers. There you see the Fantastic will take 9th. It seems like the Fantastic have been playing near the top of the bottom half a lot in these past few events. Swirling Paws get last by an entire second. Swirling Paws really got to get things going this season, or else they're just going to fade to the back. Scout Cars got 10th. That is one of their best finishes. But we head into the quarterfinals now. Morty Mealtime and trying on this. Everyone banking on Morty Mealtime to be able to do anything here. You know, they've done well in this before, and it's more important now than anything. But the Trinons are already out into the lead. And the Morty Mealtime take that squealing section really well, though. But they struggle on there. It's going to be close. No, Morty Mealtime take it at the end. Trinon struggled there. Which means it is not completely over yet. Morty Mealtime will take a top 4 in this event again. They might just be the best team in this event. And the Trinon Hunters, they are out. So, no massive lead yet, although it will still be very large and very hard for anyone to come back from. As the Crayon Lab and the Firefighters will line up for a second semifinal. Two teams that are seeming poorly this season. Not too much of a surprise for the Firefighters. For the Crayon Lab, it actually is. Crayon Lab had a very solid last season. But it's the Firefighters who are out of front. Firefighters the massive upset against the Flighters indeed. They've given some confidence and they will take it. Got hung up a bit on the loop, but it was not enough to ruin the race and cost them advancement. Firefighters will take the top 4 finish, and that does not happen very often. Firefighters looking good. Crayon Lab, they haven't placed top 4 this season yet either. And that streak will continue, although this is probably one of the better finishes. Tectonic Shifters and Nemesis Neons will go up next. Tectonic Shifters desperately want to advance. And Nemesis Neons, they are sitting near the mid-pack. They would also love it, but Tectonic Shifters take a big lead early on. Nemesis Neons trying to catch back up, and it seems like they've done it. As they head down to that part pretty much equal, and the Nemesis Neons take it much better, and I think they will win this one. Tectonic Shifters tried their best to make a comeback, but I don't think it worked. Nemesis Neons, they won gold in the obstacle race. That shot them back up in the mid-pack. They're trying to continue the good momentum as Reflect will take it over Pangea. Well done to the Neons. The Doorknobs and Turning Taxis now final quarterfinal. Between Gate and Driver here. And they're off. The Doorknobs seem to... No, that's the Turning Taxis who take an early lead. So they head down that slow part next. It's squiggly. Oh, the Turning Taxis take that squiggly really roughly. That allows the Doorknobs to go well out in front, and they will easily take the win here. That's not even close. Turning Taxis, ever since they headed down the squiggly part, it was just all downhill from there. Couldn't get anything going. Struggled in every section. That's going to be a slow time for them as the Doorknobs will cruise to another top 4 finish. Doorknobs have been having another pretty solid season for championship defense. That's a 13.24 for Drive. That is the weak side of the day. They will get 8th. But we enter to the semifinals now. Morty Mealtime and the Firefighters. Two teams that really would love a good finish here. Well, they're both going to get it. But how good will it be? Firefighters take the lead again. Can they knock out... They knocked out the Flyers. Can they knock out both of the top 2 from this event from last season? They're still holding a steady lead. But Morning Mealtime catch back up. There's the Firefighters struggle. Oh, but the Firefighters will take it. Morning Mealtime struggle on the loop. And the Firefighters will book their first ever top 2 finish. Well done to Brigade here. Firefighters are thrilled about that. Morning Mealtime, yeah, they struggled there. Couldn't get it going. Stereo will get no more than a bronze. The Firefighters guaranteed a top 2. The team who they will be facing, Nemesis Neons or the Doorknobs, is between Reflect and Gate for that other final spot. And it's Reflect who takes the early lead for the Nemesis Neons. Nemesis Neons seem to be very good in this event, as the Doorknobs try to catch back up. They had a dominant victory last time. They have caught back up, but the Nemesis Neons take the last section much better. And the Nemesis Neons will also take a top 2. So you have a very interesting final. Is it going to be a first gold for the Firefighters, or will the Nemesis Neons win the second gold in 3 events and maybe even challenge for those podium spots. Obviously not the lead, because the Tridents are a little ways ahead, but the Reflect will take it. So on to the bronze medal match, the Morty Mealtime and Doorknobs. Morty Mealtime trying to get the second podium in this event. Doorknobs trying to get the first and get their third medal of the season, as the Doorknobs will take a lead early on. Morty Mealtime gonna have to try to catch up, and they do there, as they are basically equal. Now Morty Mealtime going much better through there, but they get stuck there, and the Doorknobs fall off. They both DNF. That's our first DNF we've seen the entire event, and they're both in the same heat. So who are we going to get the bronze? I think the Morty Mealtime will get it, because they remained on the course and the Doorknobs fell off there. That was a big blunder by the Doorknobs, and by both of them, by the Morty Mealtime. Very lucky to come out of that unscathed and escape with a bronze. But the Firefighters and Nemesis Neons, now this is the real battle for the finale. And off they go, and it's Nemesis Neons struggling in the starting gate. Firefighters take a big lead. Firefighters trying to chase their first gold ever. We've seen quite a few of those, but what happening it will be if the Firefighters did it, and they keep the lead, stretch it, no challenge whatsoever. Firefighters put out the fire, put out the rest of the competition to win gold in the side-by-side duels. What a phenomenal job by Brigade, knocking out both the top two of last season, the Crangle Lab they knocked out as well, and now the Nemesis Neons, who have been dominant all event, but they are completely silenced by the Firefighters. A dominant performance by Brigade. A well-deserved first ever gold. The Firefighters are euphoric about that. Nemesis Neon still very happy to take the silver. And the Morning Mealtime will take the bronze. Doorknobs just came off the podium again due to that misstep. But well done to the podium finishers. As in the sense, the lead has now increased to 30 points. The top three doesn't change. Doorknobs move up to 4. Nemesis Neons jump 5 spots into 5th. Vage of Violence dropping a time. Firefighters are now firmly into the mid-pack. They are outside of the basement, as the Swirly Pops are headed down to 15. Scalpers are for the first time not actually that far behind 15, but they still need to try hard. So thank you for watching, and keep on spinning.